Hi, I'm Claudia St. I'm the president of Affinity HR Group. We are your HR partner and resource. There is a lot of buzz out there about hybrid workplaces, and that's because so many businesses and employees are now considering some form of remote work. Forrester Research Group just came out with a survey not long ago that showed that before COVID, only 10% of workforces, of businesses, had some workforce that worked remote from the office, either on a part-time or full-time basis. As a result of COVID, up to 60% of businesses now consider having some form of hybrid workforce. And that could be one employee or more working full-time from home or some other location, or some employees working part-time from home and part-time at work, and you might have some portion of your workforce working full-time in the office. So hybrid means really any permutation like that. As a result of COVID, 60% are considering some form like that, and another 10% of businesses are considering doing away with their brick and mortar altogether, which means that they will be having entirely hybrid workforce or remote workforce. So if you're considering this, or if this is a transition that you're having to do because of sort of the slow re-entry to post-COVID world, there's some things for you to consider. One is an important issue, and that is this issue of presenteeism. Presenteeism exists where there's some sort of preferential treatment or halo given to employees who are showing up at the office. Because they're seen and because they're on site, oftentimes business leaders may consider that they are their top performers, although they may have employees who are working very hard and very successfully at home, but because they're not seen regularly, those efforts go unnoticed. It's important to be very intentional about inclusion and communication with all of your workforces, those on site and those remote. You also want to make sure that you've set very clear performance standards so that you and your employees know what's expected. That will help you validate whether or not your employees at home are in fact more or less productive than those that are in the office. There also are a number of policies that you need to consider. First of all, if you're having them work from home, do you have an equipment reimbursement, or are they leasing or borrowing business equipment? If so, do you have forms so that you know what equipment is where, and are you reimbursing everybody for the costs that they incur by doing your work? You also, for those who are non-exempt employees, hourly employees, you need to make sure that your time and attendance is correctly calculated and captured, because they will not be checking in and checking out of the office like they normally would if they're doing it randomly at work, at home, in some sort of more informal standard. You need to make sure that you're capturing all of the time that they work. You also need to be considering if they are working outside of the jurisdiction, the geography where your business is, maybe in another city or maybe in another state. There may be workplace laws and regulations that you need to be complying with. If you have just one employee in another state, you may need to comply with those laws, such as leaves or breaks. You also may need to be paying for payroll tax, unemployment, workers' comp. You also need to make sure that your workstations that your employees are working at are ergonomically safe, because a workers' comp injury is a workers' comp injury if they're working for you, whether on site at the office or at home. So there are a number of policies to consider. Of course, there are also remote work request forms that you should be processing. A lot of information in order to set your business up for success, realizing that there is some portion of the workforce that is working remotely. And I can tell you that they want to work remotely. FlexJob, which is an organization that's been tracking the leave and remote work for a number of years, found that 96% of employees would like some form of remote flexibility, remote work flexibility, and up to 27% are willing to take a pay cut in order to have that luxury. So this is obviously a subject that's going to continue to be on our radar. We are here to help you with that. If you need any assistance establishing your own remote work or hybrid workforce policy and structure, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Also, we have an HR support plan that will track all of the regulatory issues that you need to comply with in all of the geographies where your employees work. So we're here to help. We hope that you're well, and we hope that you have a safe and productive workplace. Take care.